all of this together, but what really is the Isaiah Project? And I just want to leave with some tips before I hand it off. So we definitely are a movement towards creating financial freedom. We are indeed a legal entity. So I want to really stress that. But most importantly, we're a collective of people who've come together to pool our finances, our intellectual ingenuity, and our resources together to have a positive impact on our surrounding communities, to build businesses and develop communities. And like I said, you'll get a lot of information with what's coming up next and even throughout this. So I would just encourage you to kind of take some notes if you can. If there's any part of the presentation you're like, okay, this I may want to revisit, take some notes. And if we can get to your questions in chat, we would definitely do that. Preston?
Absolutely. I'm just going to share screen real quick. And one of the most amazing parts about this organization that we built is the incredible gifts that lie right now and have been used to kind of build something that's for all of us. And so I'm going to share screen. This is a video that one of our board members made. She's pursuing her doctorate in education, just really, truly a passionate person. We love her. She's not here today, but shout out to Sonia because it really is incredible. She's never done anything like this, but you guys won't be able to tell. So can everyone see my screen there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me do full screen. And you should be able to hear it. So let's go. I'm back. One of the things, before I introduce Pastor Tyrone, Pastor Sneed, to really just explain our why, I just wanted you guys to know that we, as Andretta said, we really are a community. We're a family. We love on each other. We cry together. We argue about what's best. And I think that is what makes us best. When we can truly be ourselves and bring our gifts and our talents and everything that we have towards accomplishing something together. So I would just like to introduce to you Pastor Sneed. He is not just my uncle, but really, really, I consider him a mentor and a brother in Christ. So Pastor, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Let me go ahead and spotlight you. Got it. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Good evening, everyone. So if you're here tonight, evidently that means that you're interested in change. Why engage the Isaiah Project? If you're looking for change, that's a reason to engage the Isaiah Project. If you're looking for something different, that's a reason to engage the Isaiah Project. If you're looking for an increase, if you're looking for something fresh, something new, that's a reason to engage the Isaiah Project. And in the African-American community, many of us grew up living paycheck to paycheck. And if that's you, guess what? That's also a reason to engage the Isaiah Project. It's affordable, It's low risk, it's safe. It's also an opportunity for you to invest in the future of someone else as you build your own wealth. So engage the Isaiah Project. I promise you won't regret it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I kind of wanted to continue with our why, because it's as Pastor was just talking about, it's here in America today, 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and 90% of those people are in absolute debt. In fact, it's gotten so bad that we have become reliant on things like stimulus checks. We've become reliant on tax refunds and so on and so forth. And when we started trying to construct this table, we just wanted to bring people together. We know that so many people need relief, and that there are so many gifts here, and that we've tried so many things, just to be honest, from share groups to multi-level marketing ideas to this, that, and the other. And sometimes they worked and sometimes they didn't. The truth of the matter is that when it comes to things like multi-level marketing, 95% of people who engage in a multi-level marketing organization will invest more than $1,000, sometimes $5,000, in this dream to become an entrepreneur. But truly, like I said, 95% will actually make little to no money at all. Little to no money, so much so that that our investment is zeroed out, and then we go to the next thing and the next thing. And, to even think about, to talk a little bit about other organizations where you give and you give and you give and you give and you give. And it's like, well, when does it come back? When does it come to me? And we did this for you. We wanted to enable people to really invest in their own community, to really start to rebuild and, buy back the block and rebuild it and revitalize it. Why do we have to wait for other exceptionally wealthy individuals or companies to come into our neighborhoods, to buy our land, and then tell us we can't be there anymore? When I look at our community, not just, I'm going to spotlight the Black and brown community right now, but that's not solely who we are here for. When I look at our community, there is over $1.5 trillion in GDP buying power. That's more than nations on this earth. And so we said, if we could just come together to create a community that is about the community, that does not highlight a few over the many, then we truly believe that we can start to shift power. We can start to cast and own our future. We can really just start to engage with each other in healthy and beneficial ways. And so Isaiah is all about collaboration. And our mission is actually intricate to who we are, because we designed ourselves as a public benefit corporation, which is a legal entity that's between a nonprofit's mission and a for-profit's drive forward. And so I would really love to just start to introduce what we're calling the 5 pillars of our organization. And I would love to introduce to you one of our board members. She's incredibly talented. Her name's Lisa Edwards, and she's going to start with what's most passionate about what we're most passionate about: benevolence, giving back. Lisa.
Hello again, everyone. I'm going to be sharing about the mustard seed dream. And a lot of us, we have these goals and these dreams and these things that we've thought about our whole lives and things that we would love to do for ourselves, for our families, and within our community, but we don't have the blueprint and the guide to get it done. And the beauty of the Isaiah Project is one of its components is the mustard seed dream. And it's the incubator for individuals to sow, grow, and harvest their dreams. It's the hands and feet of the Isaiah Project. It's a place where business professionals and mentors walk you through specific courses to help you make your dreams a reality. And many of our mentors come from leaders within the Isaiah Project, and others are leading professionals from within our community. So how does the mustard seed dream work? Depending on your focus and your goal, each participant has to complete one of our 4 tracks. And you have the ability to go through all 4 tracks if they fit whatever your vision or your dream or your purpose is. And these 4-week tracks are comprised of an 8-week program. The first track is home buying. We help you secure finances, teach you how to secure your finances, finding properties, making offers, credit building, things of that nature. The second pillar is our financial literacy program, where we give you tools to teach you how to get out of debt, to teach you how to properly save and how to properly invest. The third component is business development, where you'll learn how to write your business plan and market your business and create your business structure. The fourth area is our credit building and our credit repair. So the Mustard Seed Dream creates real entrepreneurs by mentoring, coaching, and self-development in your dream area or whatever your focus is. We help take your dreams from your head to pen and paper, then to the process, and then finally to the outcome we're all looking for, fruition, right? Completion, where your dream is now reality. So another great benefit of joining with the Isaiah Project is that all of our total investments, everything that goes into the Isaiah Project yields a 5% donation into the Mustard Seed Dream, which means you walk away with funds to help you start living out whatever that dream is that you've been thinking about wanting to do. You've worked on it. You walk away with something to help you bring it to pass. So the Isaiah Project lives by the proverb, one hand washes the other, right? The mutual cooperation ensures that all parties proceed, we all succeed. It makes sure that we all succeed. So I want to be the first, since I'm going first, I want to be the first to welcome you to the Mustard Seed Dream by way of the Isaiah Project. And we just look forward to working together with you to help make your dream a reality.
Wow. Isn't she dynamic? That
Oh
was
my God.
amazing.
She is so good. So good.
I hope that we can, in this session, you know, we named it Coffee and Conversation, and I got mine. I don't know if y'all have yours, but I hope that this cannot just be, you know, so robotic. We don't want to talk at you. We really, truly do want to talk with you. Later on, we're going to open up the chat and really start to engage some of your questions. But the next person that I would like to introduce is another critical part of the Isaiah Project. I am this man I talk to every single day. I love him as my brother, and I know you guys will too. John Schultz.
Hey, Preston. I have my coffee too.
Come on with it.
Listen, Lisa is absolutely phenomenal. And Pastor Sneed, Doc, we couldn't get it any better. And our bubbly introducer, Andretta, thank you. She is definitely one of our voices, and you'll get to know all of us. I'm going to be talking about the exchange, and it's just a great segue. Lisa talked about those who might want to go into business or has a business that needs coaching and guidance and somebody to walk with them. Well, we have a place for when those businesses are built or already established. We call it the exchange. It's a formal business networking or conglomerate where we'll get to exchange ideas, exchange services by way of being a member of the Isaiah Project. Just like if you were at Sam's or BJ Costco, you get them at a better rate because you're part of the community. And me being an entrepreneur and a franchise owner, I am looking forward to be able to communicate with some 5,000 to 10,000 people. We hope that will become members that we can share and market our business or share business ideas And so if you are a retailer or a creator or a manufacturer or any of that sort, you have a direct audience you can begin to talk to in the network and to collaborate to make it better. So that's what the exchange will do. It will be part of our website. It will be a critical part of our pillar. So now that I have this new outcome investment and returning and dividends and this newfound idea of raising funds, here's a healthy way to begin to engage them. So welcome again to the Isaiah Project, and we welcome you. And we are the Isaiah Project. Preston.
Amen. We sure are, aren't we? Let's see. When I think about, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of the other pillars within the Isaiah Project. And I love that we started with the people, because that's what matters most to us. It's not about, actually, let me correct myself. It is at least somewhat about the investments that we make, but it's more about what are our power together. And so we literally formatted every pillar so that it highlights you and your investment and your vote and your voice, and not just putting money in your hands, right? I hope you don't mind of me saying this, but there's a book that I've been reading in the Bible, and it's in Haggai, and it said, you work so hard, but at the end of it, it's like your pockets have holes in it. That it just goes and it goes and it goes. You work 50 and 60 and 70 hours a week. You are tired, frustrated, and it's like, what do I have to show for it? And so in this particular book, it says, build your temple. And I think that's what's really, really important to us, is that we want to start to build you up mentally. We want to start to build your capability up, so that way, when we do start to resource your pockets, it doesn't just all flow away. It really does start to be put away in methods that can build generational wealth, that can do incredible things. So I don't want to talk too long, because I will do that, and please forgive me. Y'all just raise your hand if I'm talking too long. Just say please. All right, got it. And so I'd like to introduce you to the Exodus engine. Okay, the Exodus engine, or the Exodus movement, as we're otherwise calling it, is a system that enables you to bring your dollars into a place of power. So individually, my $100 may only go so far. But as John just said, 5,000 of us is $100 has power to be able to do incredible and mighty things. 10,000 of us is $100 has power to really be able to rock ships and boats and so on and so forth, and really be able to disrupt industries. And so the Exodus engine takes on the structure of a private equity firm. I don't want a fund. I don't want to bog you down with technical statistics, because I could do it all day long. But basically what a private equity fund is, and I think one of our board members is going to explain this a bit later, is it is how the wealthy stay wealthy and build wealth. It is how they pass down wealth to their children and their children and their children. And where did they go to learn about private equity funds? Ivy League schools and so on and so forth. So I'll just give you an example. Victoria's Secret was recently sold to a group of about 50 millionaires and billionaires, because the starting line is $1 million. And Victoria's Secret is a very cash positive organization. And so what ended up taking place out of that sale is that they are pocketing all of the cash that Victoria's Secret is continuously bringing in every quarter, millions and millions of dollars being spread across these 50 people. But in about 5 or 7 years, they will have added value to that organization, and they will sell that organization for at least a third more than they bought it for. So billions more. And they do this over and over and over again. In fact, 99% of all capital in America is raised through a private equity fund. And so it's based on the principle of we are more powerful together. If 50 billionaires can come together, what can 5,000 of us do? What can 10,000? What can 100,000 of us do? And that's the platform that the Exodus engine stands on. So basically, I'm gonna give you a little more specific, just a little, all right? Because we want you to, just a little more specific. What happens is that you invest, in this case, a base of $100 to a private equity fund that you have an agreement with. This isn't just based on trust. You will have an agreement with us, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take that $100 investment and we're going to diversify that out. I'm very embodied. I do everything with my hands, y'all. We're going to diversify that out into asset categories that we absolutely, or that are managed by specific and very knowledgeable investment advisors and specialists. I'll just tell you those three categories very quickly, okay? Those three categories are cryptocurrency, real estate, and seed ventures, or rather businesses. What we know about businesses today, and I'm gonna close here to go to the next thing. What we know about businesses today, especially Black and brown businesses, is that we have incredible ideas and very poor access to capital. So that's why we said 25% of every dollar that's invested, every investment position will go towards standing up viable businesses and organizations so that you can start to reap the benefits, the dividends, if you will, from that continuously. Not a one-time dividend. Not you put in $100 and you got out $100. Not you put in $100 and you got out $800. You put in $100 and you got paid for as long as that business lived. For as long as that real estate has value, you'll get paid based on that value. For as long as that cryptocurrency, and it's doing incredible things, y'all, continues to rise, you will get a dividend on that. And that's something you can pass down to your children and so on and so forth. So that's one of the most massive parts of our system. John or Andretta, would you introduce us to 12 Tribes?
Yes, 12 Tribes is another pillar, one of our 5 pillars. And what we've done is, as John and Preston and Lisa stated earlier, has been very careful about selecting not just those specialists and those partners who will aid us and give us the advantage, but those who really should be connected to us. Because in addition to us growing, we want the synergy, because in that will be the long lasting result. Not just, as Preston stated, oh, okay, well, we're going to be working with this group for this time. No, we really, really did our diligence to align ourselves with companies who were aligned with the vision of the Isaiah Project. So 12 Tribes is a pillar, but within that pillar we will house the platform, and we've selected a company, TribeVest. And what that allows us to do is each individual person can join with their family or group of friends that are within the Isaiah Project, come together, put their dollars to work for a specific project, okay, to reap a financial dividend, whether it be a multi-family housing unit, whether it be a single family community, whether it's whatever it is. And the great part about this pillar, within this pillar, we have the platform that allows us to do this in the most safest way, the most transparent way possible. So you'll hear more about that, obviously, but I just want to give you a little tidbit of that. 12 tribes is our pillar that will allow us to pull together, in addition to what Preston has already mentioned, in addition to what John and Lisa mentioned. It will allow groups of people within the Isaiah Project to come together to put our dollars to work, and that money comes right back into our communities to develop our communities and build businesses, individual businesses.
Fantastic, fantastic explanation. And so we have one more pillar. If I can still count, we have one more pillar that I would love to just introduce you to, and it's called Genesis, the Genesis Marketplace. John, did you want to take Genesis Marketplace?
All right, the Genesis Marketplace, once again, Andretta just mentioned, we vetted it out, and actually they came after us after reading our description of the Isaiah Project and this well-known company, and there's only 3 right now in the world. They have started and created a cryptocurrency or a blockchain, you might hear that around, blockchain organization that will make banking easier for the new or the novice user. So their banking system is banked and backed by the FDIC, but it deals with the conversion or the transferring of cryptocurrency, or that will be traded across the world. And so just as if you would go to your Wells Fargo or Bank of America or whatever bank PNC that you use, you can go to your account, your digital wallet. You can see, okay, DAI has made this, Ethereum has made this, they are responsible for keeping your money invested in the top 10 cryptocurrencies while your money is being worked. So they reinvest your money. So just like the local US banks, they get your money invested in, and they diversify with, real estate and things of this sort. The cryptocurrency, this company called Genesis Block will diversify your cryptocurrency into the top 10 wherever they are. And instead of you trying to just learn it, you can look in there and say, oh, okay, Ethereum has this, I want to withdraw it. They have an ATM card. You go to the ATM, you withdraw it, and whatever the conversion rate is at that time, 2.5, 2.6, whatever it is, you can withdraw it out just as if you were withdrawing your money out of your USAA or whatever bank you use now. What they've done is just centralize it and made a one-stop shop. So you might have heard of Coinbase or cryptocurrency.com or Ethos, all these things that are going around because we're all looking for different ways to advance our current finances in different ways. They centralize. And so what they've done is say, look, we will partner with you. Excuse me. We will partner with you, and we want to partner with your community, the Isaiah Project, and we want to walk with them and show them how their money is diversified in a healthy and a safe way and is backed and insured. And so can we be your platform? So when you go on our website and you click on the Genesis Marketplace, it's going to take you right to their webpage, and then you're in as if you logged into Navy Federal or anything else. So we are happy, and they sought us out. We didn't seek them. They wanted to partner with us because they heard what we were doing, and they want to help educate as well as get people going in a healthier and a safe way. So that is one of our other partners that is not what we're trying to do. They are a part of us. So we are excited about it. Yes, sir.
I'm so excited about all the things that we're no longer trying to do, but we are actually doing. Y'all, this is a real thing that has come into fruition, and we've partnered long-lasting relationships with companies that have been in business for more than 10 years, people that have investment advisors and specialists that went to Harvard and Princeton and Columbia. They went to all the schools. I'm like, how did you do this? And so I am just really, really impressed with this team. And every time we tell people about it, it's off the chain. It's crazy, the kind of alignment that takes place. And so we understand that we just dropped a whole ton of information on you, which is why we kind of wanted to go into, we gathered like, what are people ask most when we talk about this? And Rodney, one of our board members, and Rhonda as well, is going to introduce us to those frequently asked questions. And they're really going to we hope that they'll start to answer those questions for you. And then at the end of this, like I said, we'll open up the chat, respectfully submit your questions, and we'll go from there. Rodney?
Thank you. So we've talked about investments, we've talked about some vehicles, and we talked about private equity. So what is a private equity fund and what does it do? It's a business entity like the Isaiah Project, an established business entity that pools investor capital to acquire businesses, restructure them, and then sell them for a profit. Private equity funds also invest. They invest in technology sectors, all sectors of the economy, technology, currency markets, stocks, and real estate. The profits generated by the fund are then distributed back to its investors, us, you, as dividends on a recurring basis. And as Preston mentioned before, over 90% of all businesses everywhere are developed and funded and seeded from private equity funds. This is a little new to me, but not really, because over the last few months, I've actually watched a couple of television commercials by a company called Grayscale. You may have seen it. They're a private equity fund, but they only allow applications from accredited investors. What's an accredited investor? An accredited investor is someone with verified assets of over $1 million or more. And those assets are confirmed by detailed banking and financial statements, legal documents. So you're not just going to walk up in there thinking you're going to invest. They're going to vet you, and you need to have at least $1 million to play the game. The difference between a company like Grayscale and the Isaiah Project is scope, scale, and of course, the entry point. Any of us got a spare million laying around doing nothing that we want to grow it? Not really. How about a lawyer or an accounting firm to do your financial vetting? No. But many of us have $100, or we can come up with $100. Do that over a weekend dinner or a couple of outings on the town. If you don't have $1 million, but you do have $100, the Isaiah Project might be for you. Here's something to think about. Knowing what you do now, if you had a time machine and the funds available to you to go back and help Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates when they were working out of their dorm rooms and out of their garages, and you had seed money to help them, would you do it? I would. That's where the Isaiah Project is on the ground floor. So think about that. I'm going to hand it off to Rhonda, my partner in crime, so she can break it down a little more.
Hi, everyone. I have some simple questions. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. It froze a little bit there. I just want to make sure. So, first question is, how can I engage the Isaiah Project? One would ask. So, our answer is, please access our Isaiah website at isaiahcommunity.org, and it will also be placed in our Zoom chat. So you can visit our link shortly after this meeting. When can I engage the Isaiah Project? Great news. You can pre-register immediately following our meeting. Guess where? At the isaiahcommunity.org website. Will I need any investment experience to join? The answer is no. And as you all know, you can visit our isaiahcommunity.org website. I wanted to kind of go off script and kind of like just tell you guys what I've been experiencing lately. We're no longer in share groups, decided not to do those. So I consider myself a pretty smart woman. So I'm going to learn how to invest. So I decide to start taking, some crash YouTube videos, learning about cryptocurrency, the different coins that they have. Bitcoin is all over the place. Today it was at like $23,000 per coin. And I'm like, how did I miss that? So, of course, because I didn't have anyone, just like Rodney was saying, somebody watching my back, looking out for me, making sure that I had money going into that coin. Because right now, I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now. I would probably be somewhere on my yacht. So they got Ripple, which is XRP. That's out there. A lot of these different coins that you guys may not know about, you wouldn't know about them because the average normal day-to-day person, you're working, you're with your kids, you're studying, you're doing all these things. You don't have time to invest in your future. That's where the Isaiah Project comes in. Outside of your 401k that you may be doing at work, most of us don't have any side investments. But that's how people that do not look like us advance. God work, prime example. I was talking to him about penny stocks. He was like, Rhonda, since November, I've made over $100,000. And he took advantage of the pandemic. Prime opportunity to buy. Does anyone know what an IPO coming out is? What are the latest IPOs? Day traders jump on those like crazy and make thousands. While we're at work, I was on a site, guy made $22,000 by jumping in an IPO that had just came out. We don't know what calls are. We don't know what puts are. We don't know what asks are. We don't know what bids are. These are all things that you have to know in order to be a successful investor, day trader. People out there are making buttloads of money, and we're sitting on the sidelines. So with that being said, we're asking you today to please join us in this effort so we can pool our resources together and build something bigger than us for our kids, for us. So we don't have to all be, sitting in our own individual little, silos trying to learn this stuff and pass it on to our kids. Because my mom didn't know how to teach me how to invest. I have a master's degree. Nobody taught me how to invest in college. It's passed down from their parents. And when I say they, people that are already successful. Donald Trump, he has millions. Millions make millions. We don't. So please join us in our efforts and welcome to Isaiah.
Yeah, I see Andrea. She's just, that's so good. Wow. Woo. Y'all, let me tell you, Rodney and Rhonda, they keep us so grounded. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they keep us so grounded. Rhonda will not hesitate to tell you if something doesn't make sense. And that's why I love our team, because we are all equal. Like, we all have incredible ideas and we're all coming together. And so what we wanted to take the chance to do in this last little section is introduce you to both Valerie and Latoya, and they are going to kind of start to audit the chat. I've just turned it on for you all. And we would just like to take maybe the next 10 minutes and answer your questions so that we hear from you. Like we said, we don't want to just talk at you. So like I said, you should have that capability right now. Go ahead and submit any questions that you have. Valerie and Latoya, they're going to call those out, and a member of the Isaiah team will answer your question. We'll do our best to answer your question. We'll give you a few minutes, a couple of seconds to write them out, and we'll go from there.
Hello, everyone. The questions are rolling in. The first question we have says, once the $100 is invested, what happens next? Once the $100 is invested, what happens next?
So Preston and I will break that up. And so our primarily function that is going to happen immediately is that once we get to a polling place, so that could be 30 days, that could be 90 days. Once we get to the number that we already got some things benchmarked to invest in, they'll get pulled together, and then they'll be broken out into 3 spheres. Cryptocurrency, which we already told you about, because the backbone of our system will be based off of Ethereum, right? So that's automatic investment going in, even while we're waiting for money to pool. Our second area is real estate. Our third area is the seed or business arena, which we heard us talk about. Preston, if you then will break down what those percentages are in those 3 areas, sir.
Absolutely. Okay, so to break it down a little bit more, we didn't want to just do 33, 33, 33, okay? The very first thing that we've kind of been talking about a lot, and the reason why we keep mentioning cryptocurrency is because we are seeing incredible growth there. Approximately 35% of your investment, that $100 investment. Now, you don't have to just do $100. You could do $200, you could do $300. And we'll talk more about what that looks like in coming communications to you, especially those of you that request access to our division. And that's, so 35% will go into crypto, and that will be managed individually. So that way, we're going to take that $35, for example, and crypto's growing by like 200% every other month. It's crazy. And so all of a sudden, that $35 becomes $70, and that $70 becomes $140, and so on and so forth. And then at a allocated period, we will return that to you. So 35% to crypto, 40% into real estate. We're not doing fixes and flips. We are literally building communities from the ground up. And we have an incredible building technology that's enabling us to have like a ridiculous 10x investment, or excuse me, return on our real estate. So 40% will go there. And then, as I mentioned previously, 25% will go into seed or ventures for businesses. Does that answer that question?
Okay, I have a question here. It says, how many investors are a part of Isaiah up to date? And they want to know if you can share, wait a minute, what was that question? If you can share the report of the investment activities to date.
Ready? Person, I'll start, and then we'll throw it again. Currently we have.
I'll jump in and take that second part.
All right. So currently we have 15 investors. in which 12 of them are considered the board members or the team. And then Andretta, the next part about any reports or initiatives,
Yes.
activities that
Yes.
we are right now. Go ahead.
Yes. We are, as Preston stated, we are a PBC, which is a public benefit corporation. So I would highly recommend just kind of read up. If you're not familiar with it, you know, everyone's heard about the term, but there really is a lot of details in that and what that actually, the structure of that business. So because we are a legal entity and we are a PBC, we must, and the reason we set it up that way is because that was our desire, to be truly 100% transparent. And private equity funds have to be, because investors are investing their money, and you must know where those dollars are going. What assets are you acquiring? You have to know what assets are part of your portfolio. We are all building individual portfolios that are a collective. So it's almost like, and I wanted to say this earlier, and I'll say it really quickly. What we're doing is the private equity fund has kind of been locked away for a certain person who has certain assets. We're taking that and pulling that out of the sky, and we're somewhat normalizing it or making it more accessible to everybody. So your individual portfolio, you will have access to your crypto dollars as they're earning dividends. You will be given reports. We have an accounting firm we will be accountable to, and they will issue those statements, dividend statements, just like you would get if you were a part of a credit union or if you were a part of another private equity fund. So the answer would be yes. We won't share it. We must share it. You will not have to request. It is something that we will do, and it's actually in the DNA and in the fiber of our legal structure to do so. So.
Yeah. And she also said, did we have any investment activities to date? And right now, no, we're in the pooling phase. We're in the pooling phase of the investment, in which the first 15 have put their money in to begin the pooling phase of this. And if you remember me mentioning, Marcy, that we are at the point that it could be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It could be however that is, based on where our initial number that we want to meet to begin the investment areas. So yes, Latoya or Val?
Yes. So another question is, what is the turnaround time for receiving those dividends?
And you could throw that to Rodney.
Thank you. Generally, in most private equity funds, the turnaround can be anywhere from 3 months to 4 months to 6 months to a year. However, because of the structure of our investments dealing with the cryptocurrency, there may be a faster turnaround time.
Thank you, Rodney. And so the investment opportunities move quicker based on where we are. So if 65 of us, 69 of us that are on this call tonight, 68 now, were to pull in, and just to make note, it's not a 100 solely interest. If you want to put in 500 or 200 or whatever you can, they just have to be increments of $100. So depending on how it goes, it can start immediate. The quicker we gather up to our benchmark, our first benchmark, then the earlier we get started. The slower we are, then that's when we get started. So we're not in a race. We're not in a haste. We are going to be prudent. We are being guided, and we are being responsible, because being a public benefit corporation, we have to be. And so, but wherever we are, you will know. We will all know. and we are governed by the board. So that's why we have a board of directors. So yes, you're welcome, Marcy. Go ahead, Latoya.
Okay, next question. Are my dividends based on the percentage of my investments?
Great question, President.
Yes. Excuse me. No, is the answer to your question. I was saying yes. But either way, yes. No, your percentage is not based on the amount of investment. So it's not that when you put in $500, you get this special percentage. We're a cooperative and a collaborative organization, which means that you will get the same percentage of return as everyone else does. So if you put in $50,000, you will get the same percentage of return as everyone else does. If you put in $100, you will get the same percentage of return that everyone else does. Now, I would like to emphasize that the more dollars that you put in, if you put in $100, and let's just say there is a 100% return, well, you got $200. But if you put in $500 and there's a 100% return, there's $1,000, right? So that's hopefully, does that answer the question, Latoya, you think?
Yes, President.
Yes, it does.
All right, so another question we have, hold on, let me scroll back up. They're rolling in now. Will there be bylaws distributed once we join the Isaiah Project?
Yes.
Yes.
Our organization as a public benefit corporation and as a private equity fund requires us by law to have bylaws that are in the form of what's called a PP. And we're going to send you guys resources, but short answer, yes. And we must follow those. Those are like the Bible. We have to go exactly to the word of that bylaw, and it will spell, it'll be long. It'll be like a pretty thick document, but it'll spell out every scenario and what we might do in this case or in that case or what have you. So yes, good question.
Okay.
Also, if you, in those bylaws, if you decide to become an investor, you become a limited partner.
Yes.
And with those legal documents you will be receiving an LPA. That is a limited partner agreement. That spells out all of the details, all of the responsibilities.
Excellent.
Okay, next question. Is there a cap on your initial investment, and are there any tax liabilities?
Okay, good question. I'll take this. I'll initially answer this question. Maybe Andretta, you can.
Well, the first one is no cap.
Yeah, there's no cap. Now, what we've done is we have an algorithm that we built, and that's more intellectual property stuff. But nevertheless, we have an algorithm that we built and that we've been working on since the inception of the Isaiah Project, and more or less that enables those funds that you give in to be distributed out into those three categories that we were talking about previously. So no, there is not any cap on the investment. If you want to put $200 in, you can do that. Now, you cannot do $250. The increment is $100, and there's no cap on that. Now, as far as any tax liabilities, we have formatted ourselves to be built on, literally, our network is built on what's called Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is both a cryptocurrency and a network. It's a decentralized platform. Now, why does this matter when it comes to your tax liabilities? The decentralized platforms are 100% anonymous and 100% unhackable. They cannot hack them. So as long as those dollars live on your digital wallet and in cryptocurrency, I'd also like to disclaim really quickly, I am not a tax professional. I am not the IRS nor a tax attorney. Please consult your attorney as it pertains to this. Now, what I can say is that those tax liabilities live with you when you deposit them into your US bank. Now, if it lives in digital wallet, that's in that cloud or what have you. When it hits your US bank account, you are responsible for that, okay?
Yes, and that ties into, and Earl, you were shaking your head, but that ties into the Genesis blockchain, the company that that can help you get a more understanding. And like as President said, we are resources not only here but on our website and things of that sort. As you get deeper into our ecosystem, once you become a member, you'll get more information to be educated and as informed, so you can make the best decision possible. But anytime it's converted from currency to US dollars, there is going to be a taxable amount. So yes.
All right, so I'm going to kind of combine these two together. The first part, what is your benchmark? Because you mentioned that, Preston. And the other one, is this a high risk investment or a conservative investment?
Great. Well, I'm the one person, you can go second. And Andretta, I said benchmark. So we've in our research, we have found out just as recently as yesterday, there could be a benchmark as low as $50,000 that we can get started, and then it can go on from there. Our benchmark will be determined by the board and by us and the board, and so that's what we're working on. But we know the minimum will be 50K, the minimum. And then the other part.
And I want to just add to that, we are low risk, but we want to be aggressive.
Right.
So low risk, aggressive. That's the best. That's, when you're low risk, it's low risk, really. Crypto now is low risk, and then even a lot of stocks, and even some stocks are low risk. But just like Rodney said, now we would consider Microsoft low risk. But back then it might not have been low risk. It's low risk now. Bitcoin is low risk. When it first started, it may not have been considered low risk, So in looking at it and doing projections too, looking at what will this, if you're talking about just crypto, what is it now? What will it be in 3 months, 6 months, 2 years? Okay. So I just wanted to say that. And I think there was one more similar question.
A little bit as well. Our chief priority will be to protect our people. I don't know if any of you have ever read The Richest Man in Babylon. We're going to send you resources that will start to resource your mind and your pockets. And one of the things that, one of the key ideas with any investment that you do is that never sacrifice the principal. So the principal in this case, just in case you didn't know, is the amount that you invested. We will safeguard that. And so we put in controls within our algorithm to do exactly that, and safeguard your principal while adding on to your return, if you will. So great question, fantastic question.
Okay, next question. You mentioned investing in real estate. Is there a real estate guru on the team? Who will determine what real estate to invest in?
Yes. Our board is comprised of incredible and game changers. And we have also partnered with, honestly, some of just the baddest people in their industries. So we will definitely, we have great counsel. So the answer to that, the short answer would be yes and yes. I think there was a 2-part question there. But just as John stated on a call last night, we are going after the deal on behalf of all of us. So there's a lot of research, market research that will go into, especially with the real estate, to create low risk opportunities for us to invest in. And land is like Preston always says, and we always say, is there will never be any more of that. So the answer to that is yes. Yes and yes. And
then
the
also,
board.
Jetta, our partnership with TriVest also gives us a stable 13-year company that will also guide us on real estate investment, because that's what they do.
And our board is controlled by a 75% majority, which means that no one person can make a decision unilaterally on where we move any of the dollars. So that they will be controlled. There's no one, even access all the way down. We've ensured security, even access to where your money actually lands. There's a specific group that will have to specifically come together with a signed agreement from our board just to move anything. So it's not that somebody can just run off with your dollars. We have several safeguards in place.
All right, so our next question, since the return is the same for everyone, will potential investors be informed of the average amounts invested by others?
Well, specific investors, no. Okay, the short answer is no. Our algorithm makes it so that the investment, if you give $100 or $500 or $5,000, is equally spread across the organization with itself. But it's totally anonymous. Remember, we're built on a decentralized platform. So it won't say, I'm just going to use you for example, Ms. Watkins. It won't say Sharita Watkins, Rhonda Scott, Santa Maria Parent. It's going to say 7721361. It's going to say 4419. That will all be all you know and all you honestly need to know about your fellow investors, besides the fact that you're doing it together. And so there it is. Answer. Good question.
And we have,
Okay.
and ladies, let's take the last three questions, which is the digital wallet, the existing of Isaiah, the investors, and the last one by Kathy Taylor. And then we'll wrap after that. And any other questions we could direct them to where Preston will give us where to direct that info and go from there. Thank you, LaToya and Val.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to combine these two questions. How long has the Isaiah Project been in existence? And what type of digital wallet do you need to have to be a part of Isaiah?
Okay, so how long the Isaiah Project been in existence? 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like forever, but it's been 4 months. And how it's been constructed and legalized and put into a safe place as really we found out is quite remarkable. It normally takes 9 to 12 months for that to even happen. But I'm just going to say favorite. I don't know any other way to say that. And that's how it happened. And the digital wallet, what type of digital wallet, Preston?
Now, the digital wallet that we'll utilize primarily is called MetaMask. But once again, as you get closer, deeper in our ecosystem, you'll get the nitty-gritty details of exactly what's had to happen. We realize that you're in a sort of bunch. So, we have 77-year-olds in our group. We also have 20-some-year-olds in our group. And so what we wanted to make sure was that the user experience was so simple. You didn't have to do this and then this and then this and then this and then that in order to invest and just to get your money back. So we've made it into less than 3 steps for every single action that needs to take place, including getting your money that you have earned through dividends. And yeah, hopefully that answers that question.
All right, next question. Will there be a cap on the number of investors, or will investors be continuously brought in?
That's a
Very
great
good
question.
We'll have a period.
And that question was brought up to us by our board members. And no cap on investors. It just be a time frame on when you come in. So wherever you come in, your dividends will start whatever. And right now that's being decided. It could be every 30-day block or every 60-day block. But yes, there'll be a time frame when you come in, but it won't stop. And we'll always be inviting. What we found out, Rodney said it, Preston has said it, is that private equity funds is whoever we want to let in. Once they come in and they meet the requirements, no, we don't want to limit it because it just gives us more resources to go after the bigger deals. So no. Preston?
Yes. What that's the specific language for that is called a calling period. Brandon could probably talk more in particular about this, but nevertheless, basically what will happen is we'll have an established calling period. Once again, that will be at the discretion of Isaiah's board, depending on enrollment, like how many people join, so on and so forth. So let's just say it's a 30-day calling period. For 30 days, we will accept new investors, and then we'll do a kind of a stop point, and all of those dollars will be executed on, and but also it'll be continuous because we'll have another 30 or 60-day or X amount of day calling period that will accept those investments, deploy those investments. So we'll kind of imagine it over a calendar, like January's calling period, February's calling period, so on and so forth. Good question.
Yeah, great question.
Okay, very last question. Who will be teaching the classes on the credit building, financial literacy, and all of those different things that Isaiah offers? Who's going to teach those?
That's going to be covered by the Mustard Seed Dream Team and our partners. And they're going to be coming from personal relationships that we all have, but they're going to be vetted out. They already do it. They do it currently. They just want to come and join in with our movement. But that will be after you become a member and then you become part of the Mustard Seed Dream. And it'll only be a certain amount per track, so that's how that will go. And that's going to be a certificate I think Andrea said that. A certificate program at the end that says, hey, I completed the home buying, the credit thing, and you'll walk through that, and then you'll have coaches to walk with you on there. So that is just the hands and feet, or as Lisa mentioned, or the execution portion of our benevolence portion, or our part we want to give back. But that's only due to membership. So you special membership to get all those levels. That you could do it at another point somewhere outside, but it won't be this inner access. So basically, the Isaiah Project is going to give you access to 5 opportunities, 5 solo independent opportunities within the whole organization. So that was the goal. Our goal was that each of these pillars can stand on their own 2 feet without it being independent, being intradependent. We don't want codependency. We want intradependency. And so that is what it is. These questions have been literally awesome. They were questions that we were prepared for and progressively and objectively thought about. Our board has been very thoughtful and mindful and meticulous about the heartbeat of the people that will come into our coffees and conversations. Share this information if you like with your peers, people that you are in relationship with, and have them come to the Isaiah community. And if we get overwhelming response, I'm sure that we will probably offer one of these coffees and conversations. But this is just our introductory to who we are. But this is not something we will continue as. We won't be a Zoom type of organization. This is just an open time of who we are, what we do. But most importantly, as we continue to ramp up and introduce this opportunity and really this new relationship that their website will do most of our talking, but we are personable people. We desire and build relationships. And so that's why we have done that. If there is anything that I haven't missed, if the board would gladly put that in the chat. I see the pros and cons. The pros are that we've seen it done is 90% being done across the world. And that is we're making it accessible to people that have average and dollars of $100. The cons is that if we didn't have this opportunity, they don't even solicit to us. You have to have $1 million. You have to be an accredited investor. We will be considered a non-accredited investor. So look, research that. That's the con. The con is we won't even know about it. And we'll just have to pull money together like we normally do. That's the biggest con. The pros is that we have now exposed ourselves to something that it may take a little longer because each of those accredited investors start with $1 million. So that, yeah, they can acquire things quickly and more aggressively. The pro is, hey, we get 5,000 people, we can move, we can get to $500,000, we can do a lot. It gives us opportunities, and our board, along with our partners, will get us into sound investments, which will have risk, but we feel confident based on the statistics of most funds, private equity funds. The three areas that we have chosen are the ones that have been successful: seed investment, real estate, and now the cryptocurrency. Thank you.
Yes, I know that some of you we've been digging into a small issue that we've had. I wanted to let you know we've solved that. A couple of you have asked already. Specifically, if you're going on to the isaiahcommunity.org, okay, our website's wordy, but it will give you almost all of this information we've just said. And you want to go ahead and request access, just get in the queue for our first calling period. Please utilize Google Chrome to sign up right now. If you for some reason still get an error message, you can email us at yourfriends@theisaiahcommunity.org. Okay. And one of the things as we close, we're talkers, y'all. But one of the things as we close is that we have constantly been left out of the methods to build wealth and to do fantastic things. And I think we've been banging at the door over and over and over again, trying to get in, trying to get a seat at the table. And what I really want to tell you all as we close is that we can build our own table. We can do this together. We don't have to wait for them to say, oh, here's one spot because you're Black, or here's one spot because you're a woman. We can make our own community and build our own cities and do everything that, or earn everything that we know the promise that we have in order to change the world. I have two little people. I have a 5 and a 6-year-old, y'all, a girl and a boy. And I want to leave them 10 times better than I started. My mom is in this group, and she set me up with a mental mindset to be able to overcome. So I just want to congratulate what we're doing. And I want to say that we're building the table finally, y'all. This is it. We're no more ideas. This is it. So let's engage the Isaiah Project. And thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Request access, and welcome to the Isaiah Project.
Welcome to the
welcome everyone.
IsaiahCommunity.org.
The Isaiah.
The
Isaiah.
IsaiahCommunity.org.
Just like the Ohio State.
Thank you. If you guys want to go ahead and log off, we'll continue to wave bye. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time and your attention.
Yes, 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 yes.
If you logged in at the last minute, okay, don't worry, we recorded the session, so we're gonna find a way to get it to you, or we'll invite you to the next one, okay?
So long.
Oh, it is D. My bad.
Hey, Joan. You're welcome.
Got the wrong website.
Astrid, are you still here by chance? Off mute. I see your hand raised.
Uh-oh.
He said me.
Astrid,
Yes, I'm here.
everything okay with your?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Just want
Trying to figure this thing out.
to. It's figured out. We're doing it.
No, the Zoom thing, the icons.
Oh, I see you raise your hand by mistake. That's okay. I'll lower your hand for you.
Sorry. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, but okay.
Well, have a good night, Astrid. We love you.
Hey, Ivan. Hey, Miss Joan. It was good to see Miss Joan and Ivan. And Sharita, always good. Y'all always in the Watkins and all them good people. Carolyn B. Marcy, thank you. Is that Uncle Smith? Yeah, thank y'all. I saw some other people that I missed, but
You guys have a blessed night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Too.
You too.
You too, Astrid.
Hard work.
Hey, LaWanda. Yeah.
Thank you for the hard work you're putting in on this project.
We don't have no choice. The board don't play.
That's all we know is hard work.
All we know. That's all we know. Thank y'all.
I'm the farmer of the group, so Miss Terry knows that, right, Miss Terry?
All right, well, keep looking for some land over. Look for some land over there. It might be an opportunity. Looking.
We need some farmers now.
Right? That's what we've been trying to do.
Okay.
Want to eat? Gotta have farmers.
Isaiah Project, I gotta step away though, but thank y'all. A wonderful meeting. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Good night.
Thank you.
Excellent job.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Good night.
Good night. You guys were phenomenal tonight.
Yes, everybody did great. Very exciting.
Awesome. Love y'all. Bye.
Indeed.
Love you too.